Okay, question number 1. What might you include in a budget for your family's monthly living expenses, and list at least 5 items? So basically we're looking for what does your family spend money on throughout a week or a month. So you have to have someplace to live, so you're probably paying for rent or a mortgage. You've got home maintenance costs, so you've got to keep things working. When things break, you got to repair them. Got to have garbage bags for the garbage can and all that kind of stuff. You got to eat, so you need food. You might still be paying for your car, so you've got car payments. And of course, you have to repair your car when something goes wrong, so might have car repairs. You have your cell phone bills, so you've got to keep your phone running. You've got to have heat. You've got to have hydro. You've got to have water. You have to have entertainment. You've got to have Netflix or some kind of streaming services maybe. What about sports? Are you playing soccer or swimming? And maybe taking music lessons. Do you have a tutor? There's so many things you can be spending money on. I haven't even listed your internet service on here. So lots of things to spend money on. Question number 2 says to identify 5 different methods for paying for something or transferring money. The most obvious method typically is cash. Not used as much now, but the check is another way of transferring money. Credit card is very, very common these days. Bank transfers include like an e-transfer and Interac transfer there. Using your debit card. A lot of people on their smartphones have Google Pay or Apple Pay. Or sometimes people are transferring money to other countries and they use a service. Common one is called Western Union. It allows you to send money to different places. Those are just some examples. Question number 3 says, if you have a Nintendo Switch, it has a price of $380 and the sales tax that is charged in Ontario is 13%, estimate the total price of the bicycle including tax. Remember that estimating means you're doing calculations you can do in your head, but obviously I want you to show your calculations here. So we've got a price we're told is $380, and the tax is 13%. To make estimating easier, we say that 13% is pretty close to 15%. And remember that 15% is 10% plus 5%. We know that 10% is easy to do, so we'll start with that. The 10%, we just take the $380 and we move the decimal place 1 position. So 10% is $38. And then 5% is just 1/2 of 10%. So we just have to know what half of 38 is. So I know that half of 36, I happen to remember, is 18. So half of 38 is going to be 19. So my 15%, now I just have to add the 38 and the 19 in my head. So that might still be a little bit tricky. So maybe I would round that off and say that the tax is going to be 38 plus 20. So $58 in tax. Question number 4. What is the price per package if something costs $75 for 5 packages? So $75, 5 packages. This one's fairly easy. If you've got $75 and you divide that by 5 packages, you're doing 75 divided by 5 if you want to do it in long division. You've got 1 5 goes into 7. Subtracting that, you have 2, bring down the 5. And 5 5s are 25 with a remainder of 0. So each package is $15. Question number 5. A 1 kilogram bag of flour costs $4.10. The sales tax in Ontario is 13%. Estimate the tax you would pay. So another tax question, $4.10. And again, we've got 13% is the actual task. We're going to estimate using 15%. Remembering that 15% is 10% plus 5%. 10% of $4.10 means we move the decimal place 1 position. So we've got 41 cents. And then half of that, half of 10% is 20.5, so we'll just call it 21 cents. Adding those up, we've got 62 cents of tax. Number 6. You need 20 cupcakes for a party. One store sells packs of 4 for $4.92. Another store sells packs of 10 for $11.90. Which one is the better buy? To do these kinds of questions, we're relying on the algebra that we did in a unit a couple months ago. What we're trying to figure out in this case is the unit cost, remembering that the unit cost is the cost for a single item. So if it costs us $4.92 for 4 cupcakes, what we're trying to figure out is what's the cost X, so the X is the unknown, to buy 1 unit. So getting the X alone, we multiply both sides by 1, which doesn't actually change very much, so we end up with 492 over 4 is equal to X. Then we just need to do the math for $4.92 divided by 4. And when we do that, X is equal to $1.23. So that's the first part. Then the second one is we can buy 10 for $11.90. And we're going to get 10 units for that. And again, we want to find out what is the unknown value of a single item. So in this case then, X is equal to $11.90 divided by 10. And if you do that math, obviously fairly easy to just move the decimal place 1 position because we're just dividing by 10. So you get $1.19. So based on that, we can see that buying the package of 10 gives us the best price. Let's tackle number 6 a different way. Remember, we get a package of 4 for $4.92, and we get a package of 10 for $11.90. And we want a total 20. So if we take the first one, in order to get to 20, we need to multiply by 5. So we have 5 times 492, which is equal to 2460. And for the second case, we need to multiply times 2 to get 20. So this time we've got 2 times 1190, which would be 2380. So in doing so, you can see again that the 10 for 1190 gives you the best price. Number 7. Kadisha has just received a new Canadian Tire credit card. She buys a Father's Day present from Canadian Tire using the credit card that costs $200. She then goes back the next day and buys a soccer ball for $50 and a basketball for $50. Later, she decides to return the basketball. And the question is, how much does she owe on her credit card? So in this case, she initially spent the $200. Then she incurred a little more debt of $50 and another $50. But then because she returned that second $50, she got a credit. So her total debt, when we're done, is just the 2 items that she purchased with the credit card and didn't return, which when we add them up is $250. So that's how much she owed. And that is, another way of saying that is the debt that she currently owes to her credit card company. Finally, question number 8. You can purchase a 1 kilogram box of mini wheats for $8.25, or you can buy a 400 gram box for $4.97, or you can buy a 600 gram box for $5.25. Which box is the better buy? In this case, rather than finding a unit price based on a single gram, we're going to work with a 100 gram price. So we've got $8.25 per kilogram, or 1,000 grams, and we want to know what that price is, so some unknown price, if we just have 100 grams. So in this case, we're going to multiply both sides by 100 in order to get the X alone. So we end up with 100 times 828 divided by 1,000. We've got 2 zeros there and 2 zeros there that we can cancel out. So we've got 828 divided by 10, which is, so we're going to just move the decimal place here, one position, so we've got 83 cents per 100 grams. $4.97 per 400 grams. And that's going to be equal to some price unknown, which we'll call X, per 100 grams. Again, we take that 100, multiply both sides by 100 to get the X alone. So we have 100 times 497 divided by 400. Canceling out the zeros, we end up with 497 divided by 400. And if we do that on our calculator, we end up with $1.24. Finally, we have to pay $5.25 for a 600 gram box. So that's going to be like paying X for 100 grams. Again, multiplying both sides by 100. We end up with 100 times 525 divided by 600. The zeros can cancel out. So we end up with 525 divided by 6. And if you do that on your calculator, you'll end up with 87 cents. So we can see that from our calculations, the 1 kilogram box was 83 cents per 100 grams. The 400 gram box was $1.24 per 100 grams. And the 600 gram box gave us the best price at 87 cents per 100 grams. So the 600 gram box is the best buy.